GOQii coach Niyatii N Shah, a parenting coach, and today's topic is 7 ways to respond when your child complains. So a warm welcome to all of you in today's class, Kids Matter First, and we're just waiting for all of you to come online. And once you are, which I can already see you coming online, please wave a hi, let me know you're here. Let me know the age and the gender of your child when we are talking. Please put in your questions if you have any, and I will be happy to reply to that. So let's have this amazing discussion, and I know a lot of parents are waiting to have answers to such situations, which genuinely steams us off. So yes, waiting for you to quickly say hi and let me know the age and the gender of your child. Okay. All right. So, okay. Just checking if All right, so we have so many of us already online, and I am going to start with the class right away. So 7 ways to respond when your child is complaining. Now what happens is complaining and whining are the two most frustrating situations and things that parents really get very, they feel very helpless with. When your child is complaining, when your child is whining about things, you genuinely don't know how to react and how to respond. And most of the times we respond with anger, with aggression, with being upset with them. And that's where we lose connection with our children. So first, we also need to understand why the kids complain and whine. Of course, if your child is not complaining or whining a lot, then you may not see it as a problem. But if your child is complaining or whining a lot, like a lot, which you can't handle, then definitely this topic is of utmost importance to you. We need to understand why kids complain. So kids complain for various reasons. Sometimes because something has just upset them so much, so they just want to blow off that steam. Sometimes it is only because we have not been able to give them some time that they want from us. So to connect back with us, they complain, they whine, they're talking about things in life, in class, in the playground, at a friend's house. So it could be anything. So they want to connect back to us, and they know that when I complain, my parents will sit down with me and ask what happened, or at least take that few minutes off and talk to us. So they complain and they whine so that they can connect back to us. They also complain because they feel powerless, because they don't know how to handle a situation. So imagine a situation maybe in a playground where a child is playing and the child has not been able to handle a situation and he feels powerless. Maybe some older children were bullying your child, or older children were deciding what to play and how to play, and your child wanted to be a part of that strategy team but could not. So this is the time when your child will throw complaints and will whine a lot because he felt powerless and he didn't know what to do. Right? So that these are a few situations and reasons when children complain a lot. Their voice is full of anger and aggression. Their facial expressions have changed. Their body language has changed. Suddenly, so much in life starts making sense to them. About friends are like this only, or boys are like this only, girls are like this only. I never want to make friends again, or I never want to do things again. So there are different reasons why a child would complain. Once again, parents, you are here in numbers in live. Put in a hi for me. Let me know the age of your children and it will become very, very easy for us to have this chat. So while hi Tufel, hi Anusha and Sadhana, thank you for putting the comment in. We want more and more parents to have this interaction session, and trust me, every parent has its own reason, its own situation which he or she wants to handle. Of course, this class is going to make a lot of sense to you when you think about your situations, but if it can become one-to-one, it will really add in a lot of value for you as a parent to be able to handle that situation. So go ahead and put in the age and gender of your child, and it will definitely become much more effective for you as a parent. So now, whatever the cause is, when a child is complaining or whining, it is your opportunity to connect back with the child. It is your opportunity as a parent or as a teacher sometimes, or as any family member who the child is trying to complain and have a chat with or talk to. It's your opportunity to help your children, to connect back with your children and find better ways to help them express their feelings. So there are ways you can teach them that you could have said the same thing in this way. So take these opportunities and speak to your children about it. And so this is your opportunity to shift their mindset from constant complaining to get your attention to making it a very positive mindset. So positive, just to say that it can be put in a way where the complaint, see, what does a complaint or a whining do? It just puts that person into so much of powerlessness mode. So you can definitely teach them how to change and to become more powerful and handle the situation. So when you are complaining or whining, you do not have the, you're not in the space where you can take decisions, where you can handle a situation. You are constantly going down. You're going deeper into a space where you may not find, answers to the situation. So teach your child how to shift from this space of powerless to a space full of power. So take this opportunity and don't miss out. Don't keep pushing your children away when they are complaining, okay? So while it is normal to vent, sometimes a lot of complaining is not healthy either. It's not okay if your child is constantly complaining. You need to look into it. You need to see where it is coming from and what is the root cause of these complaints. There is an area in the brain which is very, very necessary to develop for problem solving and emotion, to handle emotions. So if it is not developing, we need to understand that child needs help. So go ahead and provide it for the child. So now, what are these 7 powerful ways to respond when your child is complaining? First is to define it. Teach your children to discuss how to say it, what exactly the issue is. So Tina, that child is doing that, and Sina, they're not letting me play. So ask your child to just calm down and speak about it, so that there is a voice to it. The voice to see that, is it confusion? Is it something which is angry, or like your child is angry about? Is it something that just upset about it? So let's define it. Let's define whether it is you're just upset about it, or you just want to vent it out, or is it just something else? So practicing this definition, practicing this voice will become very important for your child, so that whenever your child is saying something to you or complaining something to you, you will know which part of his emotion is being targeted, which part of his emotion is being in the forefront, what is exactly happening to your child. So teach your child to define it. Whenever your child is complaining, so this is a second way to respond. Whenever your child is talking or whining, moreover, or complaining, you have to listen to it completely. Don't start saying, again you're whining, again you've come to say something, can't you say it nicely? Don't you just know what to do and how to do it? Do you have to, all the time just complain and whine? So you don't become the whiny parent when your child is complaining to you. As a parent, you have a choice to react or to respond. And today we are talking about responding. So when it comes to responding, listen to your child completely. Let the child finish talking. So sit down at the level of your child, look, make eye contact with your child and listen. This is very, very important when it comes to your children and communicating with them. This is exactly why children need our attention. And when we give them the eye contact, when we give them that yes, I am listening, when we give them the validation, that is when the child feels heard. When the child feels that yes, I was heard, my parents heard me out and they know what my problem is. And we should validate whatever the child has said. So supposing the child has said, you've just not let me watch my TV today. I am so angry with you all the time. You just don't let me watch my TV. Why do you keep shutting it off? My friends watch it so much. So you just have to sit down with the child and look into the child's eyes and say, I understand that you're upset with me because I switched the TV off. Or say that, I hear you and I understand. So these are the magic words where the child automatically, immediately just calms down first because you have heard. So you let the child finish, then say that, yes, I hear you. So that becomes very, very important tool for you and your child to communicate, So keep that in mind. This second point of responding is extremely important. So listen and validate your child's complaint or whining about it. Give a choice to your child. When your child starts to complain, clarify of what they actually want. So okay, your friend is not playing with you in the compound or in the play, in the play area. So what is it that you want me to do? So define, give a choice and ask your child to clarify of what they want that should happen as a result. So do you want me to come and speak to your friends, or do you want to know how to handle the situation, or do you want me to go and talk to the child's parents? Ask your children what is it that they want as a goal. What is it that they want as a result of what they are complaining? So rather than straight away telling them, then go na, do this na, or go na, just handle it this way na. Give a choice to your child. That's the third way of responding. Giving a way to your child to respond actually gives them the clarity of why exactly are they complaining or whining. So most of the time, child is only doing that because it's becoming a habit. They just want to come and whine about it. They just want to come and talk to you about it, or they're just trying to grab your attention. So by asking this question or by giving them a choice, it becomes extremely important for the child to become clear of what exactly they want and then to communicate to you. Getting it? So give a choice to your child to ask, to say that what do you want as a result. So do you need to just vent it out? Do you just want to talk about it? Or do you want to make a plan to handle that situation? That becomes very, very important, right? And the fourth way of responding when your child is complaining is to reframe, rephrase the complaint as a want or a wish. So maybe if your child hates her new toy, say, and you want a different toy. So, sorry. So what is the hidden message there? Because the child hates the toy. Now, do you want a different toy? Or do you want to come along with me? Or would you want to tell me what you like or don't like? Or is it something specific in your mind that you want? Or is it the color choice that you didn't like? So rephrase the question or rephrase your statements and rephrase the complaint as a wish or a want. That helps the child to again become more clear, and he or she can communicate with you exactly what they're complaining about. So, sometimes there are hidden messages to the complaints. So I might say, what a dirty gift you get me. You just don't know how to buy gifts for me. What kind of a toy is this? Why do you just go and buy for me? Don't buy for me ever. So there are hidden messages in these kind of complaints. So you can definitely rephrase. You can ask the child to rephrase that. What exactly would you have liked? Or what exactly were you looking for? So ask your child to rephrase the complaint. So if you had to make this complaint in a different manner, what would you have said? So when you throw that question to the child, when you respond in a manner that I want to hear you, I want to understand what exactly are you looking for, the child just cools down. There's no complaint anymore because the child knows now that you are listening, that you are hearing the child and you've asked the child for a feedback. So that automatically puts the complaints down. So see, you understand that instead of reacting to that noise or to the non-verbal communication which we can't understand, the blowing the steam, the throwing the things, or rolling on the floor if your child is younger, you have to understand and help them rephrase so that they can communicate with you. You getting that? That becomes important between a parent and a child, that tell me exactly what's going on so that I can help you. Idea is not a powerful battle. Idea is not who's winning over here. Idea is to communicate. Idea is to figure out, why do you have to whine or complain about things? Why can't we learn to just handle these problems, handle what exactly is going on, and teach your children depending on the age. That you see, the younger ones may be doing this to get your attention, but if he's a teenager or she's a teenager and this is happening, then there is something more to it. There is a lot of maybe situations where your child is feeling powerless. So that is where you need to understand, if a teenager is feeling like that, then the situation may go out of hand and he or she may start bullying or taking wrong decisions, or start withdrawing and coming into the shell where they think that this is not working for me, I just don't want to go here, I don't want to be this friend, or I don't want these friends. So there could be many ways your teenager may be responding to this or reacting to something, and that is why the complaints are coming. You get it? So complaints like, you never let me wear what I want to wear, you never let me go later in the night, you never let me do things all the other parents are allowing, you kind of parents are like that. So there are hidden messages in it, that my friends are going and I want to be a part of that. Just because I'm dependent on you, I have to listen to you. So that is not the kind of relationship you want with your children, where they feel powerless with you. They should feel powerful with you, that yes, I can go and communicate with my parents. So if these complaints are coming in, ask your child to rephrase it. Ask your child to speak of it more with clarity. That, tell me exactly, what do you want? I want you to let me go, not like I don't have to come back home by 11. I want to come back home maybe 1 o'clock. Look through the pros and cons. Look how it can be worked out. You also cannot just stay rigid and stubborn about things. You can also work it out with your child, right? You can also tell your child that, yes, we can work this thing out. Tell me, what do you want to do? So this is how the relationship between the mother, the parents and the child can be enhanced, and you can have a healthy relationship with your children, right? So rephrase and reframing is the fourth way of responding to your child when your child is complaining. The fifth is setting limits. Setting limits is giving a time limit for complaint, or setting aside a daily complaint time. Yes, that also can possibly can happen. I'll tell you how it works. So this is ideal for kids who whine frequently and need greater limits. So if your child is constantly coming and complaining to you, every 15 minutes, every half an hour, there is something that the child is complaining about. Every hour, there is something the child is complaining about. You can say, how about write down what has happened, write down all the complaints that you have, and when we sit down just before bedtime, you can tell me all about it, or whenever we are sitting down on the lunch table or breakfast table or dinner table, you can discuss it as a family. What happens is, one, the child learns to write it down. So the child may have time to introspect. Sometimes the child may say, oh, I don't want to say this anymore, when they come back and sit down with it, because that time is already gone. So maybe there were some results that the child wanted at that time, but now that results don't matter. So the complaint is also gone. So when you set limits, that this is your diary or this is your paper, write down your complaints, and at so and so hour we will sit down and discuss about it. Setting limits will actually give your child time to introspect, time to when they're writing about it, they'll just decide not to. When they sit down to talk about it, the complaint mode is not there anymore. Now it is about a project. Now it is about, I have these complaints and now I need to sort it out with my parents. The tone of the complaint will change completely. You get what I mean to say? The tone of these complaints, like when the child comes at that time, it is always about there's aggression, there's choice of words which probably they don't want to use. There are thoughts that they are entertaining at a time when they feel powerless, which need not happen. It's not necessary for them to think in a certain manner. So teenagers use choice of words like, I wish you were never my mother, or I wish I was not born in this family. So these are hurtful statements which parents sometimes cannot handle, and they feel very, very hurt that, my child said something like this to me. So in case if the child, this specifically is for children who have a lot of complaints, who are whining and complaining a lot during the day. So give them this chance of writing it down and telling them to come maybe at the end of the day or certain times in the day, like, let's sit down and discuss what were your complaints about. I heard you that there was something that you were getting upset about, so let's sit down and talk about it. It will really, really, really help your child to start understanding and distinguishing between complaints and some things that, oh, this was just a 2-minute thing and I just reacted to it. So it will really give your child certain ways of solving problems in his life. You are not only solving that complaint, you're giving them the tools to actually which will work for him in lifetime. So even though we are talking about children, you as adults should practice this also. So I'm giving away a lot of things here. So setting limits becomes a huge, becomes very, very important for children who are complaining a lot. Sometimes it is important to respond to your child very playfully, So once the kid knows about their strong voices, like about how I should be talking about my complaints, what my tone should be like, and how to use it, you can tell them about talking about these complaints playfully. So, so what I mean to say is when you have to respond to your child, become playful. So when your child comes and says, my friend is not listening to me, my friend is not playing with me, so you can somewhere playfully say, hey, where is that little playful Diana who was here 5 minutes ago? Can I see that playful Diana talk to me about the same thing? Or you could say, hey, where is that confident Ishan? I was just watching confident Ishan sitting over there and playing with his friends and making new games. What happened? Can that confident Ishan come and talk to me about what has happened? So what happens is, sometimes you becoming playful about the whole situation can help, but may not work all the time. So be very, very careful if you see that it's not working. But sometimes with younger children, it works. So make it playful. Make it that, oh, you were right there, and what happened? Or how about taking this complaint and seeing, how we two ninjas can work around it. So make it so playful that the entire focus from the complaint turns into this focuses into this playful game now. You know what I mean? So it's not complaints anymore. It just becomes a task to go and win. So so maybe something like, I said ninja, but if your child is about a superwoman or a Iron Man or some character that they like, so somebody from Sophia or some princesses, so when they are continuously complaining, you could just become playful and say, is this Princess Sophia who's complaining? How would she complain? Or what would she say? Or take a character who's very brave and courageous, so that this entire powerless position becomes a very powerful position. Becomes like, okay, this is how Princess Harry would have said, or this is how Cinderella would have said. So make it a very powerful situation for your child. Make it playful so that the entire focus from being powerless and complaining becomes powerful. And yes, now I am Princess so and so, and yes, I can now go and fight my own battle. So it could be like that, and teach your children that how would Superman do it, or how would Batman do it. So there are so many different ways of how you can actually turn this thing around and make your child realize that I can immediately get out of this complaint mode and become this superhuman who actually can go and help others who are in that situation. So parents, it completely depends on you of how you are responding to your child. Yes, of course, what you need is a lot of patience, no doubt about it. But because you have started responding and not reacting to your child, the number of complaints will come down. I promise you. I promise you, the number of complaints will come down. So these were the 6 ways of responding to your child. The last way that I want to discuss is finding the good in your child, empathizing and then helping your child notice the positive. So yes, if this is the situation now, how can we turn it around? You are so and so child. Look for the good in your child and look for how you can help your child to go from being powerless to becoming powerful. Empower your children with several key questions. So like, okay, so this was your situation, this is your complaint. So now, okay, so supposing you've taken the the responding of playfulness, and it just became a playful game now, and now you are just playing around and solving the situation. So you can definitely go and ask your child that, what did you learn from this? What did you learn that if there is a situation, if there is a problem, how can you solve it? What did you learn from here? Was it necessary to be angry? Was it necessary to be stomp your feet and react in a certain manner? Was it important for you to throw things around to express? So these are the kind of questions you can ask your children when they are complaining. So find the good in your child and see how that can turn around into empowering questions for your children. It becomes very, very important to teach your child problem solving. You get it? And you can respond, you can act, you can be there and ensure that it's a communication between you and your children. It is not something where you are fighting from one end, your child is complaining from the other. It just doesn't work with children. You need to get that, okay? Responding is the way to be with your children and not react. Now, this distinction is extremely important for us parents. If we start reacting to our children, they also react back, and it becomes a game of power. It becomes a game of authority. It becomes a game of who is bigger. The ego comes in, the ego sets in. So that is not what we are looking for when we want to help our children. That is not what we are looking for when we are being the parent, when we want to support our children. So please, parents, take this time out and ensure that when your child is complaining, they are not complaining because they are like that or it's their nature. There are hidden messages, there are agendas that they want to achieve, and help them find that. Trust me, it will be a better situation to be in, and you will be doing your duty as a parent. So these were my 7 ways. I will very quickly go through it once again for many of us who have joined in late. I'll just see if there are any questions or comments. So hi everybody. Hi Vishal, Praveen, Anant, hey Shruti, happy to see you once again over here. Hi Kiran, good morning to everybody. So no questions as of now today. So I'll still give you another couple of minutes before I sign off. So parents, please go ahead and let me know if there are any questions. If there have been situations that your child is really complaining and whining a lot, I will love to be able to see how I can help you or support you in your parenting. Till then, one last thing, as I always say, be the support your child needs and not the parent. Being friends is one thing, being a friendly parent is another. So being a friendly parent is who your child wants you to be. Friends to unke paas bahut hai. So be this friendly parent who takes this opportunity to connect back with their children, to see where something is missing and your child is seeking that. Complaints, as I said, are different ways to reach out to the person they are complaining to. So take that time off and see how you can help your children. So the 7 ways which we have discussed today, I'm very quickly going through them with you, and let me know later sometime, and would love to hear your feedback through Arena. So anyway, so the first point was define it. Ask your child to clearly tell you and use the correct tone to express what exactly the complaint is about. Second is, you as a parent need to listen to your child completely. Let your child finish talking and then validate of what you have heard, and then take it further from there. Say that I hear you and whatever, or I understand that this is what your problem was. Validate it and then take it further from there. Give a choice to your child if they would want to put it in a what do they want to do from here. Give them a choice of what result they want to cause from there. Rephrase and reframe the question or the complaint, to try to see if there is a hidden message inside it. So teach your child of how they can rephrase and reframe this complaint into a question and see what is coming up. All right. Set limits. If your child is complaining a lot, ask your child to write down those complaints in a diary or a paper and come back later on a fixed time that you and your child have decided. So that is your 5th way of responding. Respond playfully. If your child is younger, use playful methods to respond to your child. Get in characters that they relate to, make it fun, and then see how your child is responding. And last but not the least, find the good in your child. Why is your child complaining will automatically come to you. We have Anusha who says, how can parents teach their child how to say I can? Whenever you're dealing with your child's complaints, at the end of it, when you are discussing of how to handle the situation, ask your child to say the statement starting from I can. Say, yes, I can handle the situation. So ask your child to repeat it with you. Ask your child that, do you think you can do it this way? and your child will somewhere say, yes, I can, and repeat those questions, repeat those situations, and the answers to it, or your solutions to it. I can be 10 affirmative sentences also, which you can ask your child to repeat every morning, that I can handle situations, I can solve problems, I can be confident. So there are different I can statements which you can help your children to say it, when you're discussing the situation or the complaint. When your child comes and complains all the time, ask a child, do you think you can? And he will automatically say, yes, I can. So that's how it works. Kiran, yes, Kiran, I've already repeated the 7 ways of responding to your child. Oh, lovely. Fantastic. So I'm glad it's helping you, and you've liked the class. Thank you for being here. Once again, lovely to have all of you come at 10 o'clock for my class. Now, I would like to take your leave and end this class with a note of gratitude. Thank you once again for being here. And as the hashtag of GOQii goes, be the force your child needs you to be, and help him be the force who he already is. All right, I take your leave today. And hey, thank you, Kiran. That was a fabulous way of ending my class. Thank you that you feel the worth of spending these 30-40 minutes with me. And I love to have all of you come and interact with me. Thank you, and have a beautiful Sunday. Bye.